All right, it is Food City Friday. I'm here with Chef Joe. He was just giving me a lesson on the difference between butter beans and lima beans, and I learned a deal. I'll let you explain it. What is the difference between lima beans and butter beans?
What I learned was that basically the lima beans are the young bean.
Okay.
Where it's harvested while the actual bean itself, including the husk, is still green.
Okay.
And those are harvested and shelled. And now, if you let it stay on the vine, kind of like the October beans we have around here,
right?
Let it stay on until it's completely ripened and the shell or the husk itself starts to dry up, then those are harvested as butter beans, and they tend to be harder and they take longer to cook.
And,
and
we got some butter beans right there.
And we've got baby limas is what these are called, but they're basically the
now you're
the
pulling a trick on me.
Well, no, we're going to use baby limas. I called this butter bean gumbo, but we're going to call the.
You just like the name butter beans, though, better.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, get us started on this gumbo.
Well, let's get started then. I've already done a little make ahead here, and I've got me some country ham that I've cooked up in here, and and before I did that, I took all the trimmings and the bone and put that in my saucepan here.
Okay.
And I went ahead and cooked that up and got the drippings out of it. Okay. And then tossed that, just discarded that, and then I've cooked.
You can hang on to that though. You can do other stuff with it if you wanted to.
You can if you want to, but in this case, what I did was I discarded it, and now we're ready to start because we've got our ham, our celery, and our onions already cooked up together in the pot. And I used the drippings to get those started. All right, so now let's start with 4 cups of water.
Now this is really hot, so I'm going to try to be careful here.
Yeah, it is. Don't spill it all over either one of us.
Why don't I do that? There we go.
Beautiful.
Spill just a little. There we go.
That'll work. Okay, and let's stir this up. Now we're going to add in our baby limas here. And this is a pound of baby limas.
Now where did you get the idea for this?
I was watching a show on PBS when they talked about these, and I thought, you know, I love a good gumbo.
Right.
And I had never heard of anybody doing a gumbo, and looked it up on the internet and couldn't find butter bean gumbo.
So you came up with it on your own?
I just sat down and said, what would be good in that? Okay.
Okay.
So we got our baby limas in here. Let's kick the heat up here a bit. Be nice to me today.
It's working for you.
All right.
There you go.
Now, we're also going to add 3/4 of a cup of long grain brown rice. We're going to stir that in there, and we're going to get this guy cooked up real good.
Everything's going in the bath together. Now, you're going to hold off on the shrimp for later because the shrimp cooks really quickly.
Yeah, actually, the last thing I do is put the shrimp in and just turn it off.
Okay, just let that hot water cook it.
Yeah, just let it cook. Now, we're also adding our Food City brand, Food Club brand, our version of Rotel.
All right.
So we're going to put those in there, and all of that's going to cook together. And this is where I get most of my seasoning and spices.
Because I've noticed so far you haven't added a whole lot of spices to it.
Haven't added anything at all. And this will give us a little bit of give us some heat.
I like the colors on it so far.
And then the last thing we're going to add in is a couple of teaspoons of smoked paprika.
Okay.
And that gives it that last little bump that we need to really kick the flavor up.
And that rice will cook and expand.
It sure will.
And the water will reduce, and so it'll thicken up here in just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to come back in just a few minutes and finish this up and show you the finished product a little later. Well, we're actually just going to show you how we get from point A to point B here in just a little bit with this gumbo.
Right. I'm going to put a lid on this guy and really get it going good because it's going to take it till almost time to eat to cook it up.
And we're going to talk about some specials coming up at Food City, and you want to find out more, some great recipes, power shopper tips, everything that's going on with Food City. Check out foodcity.com.
The preceding portion of Daytime was sponsored by